Yeah, it's interesting, honestly speaking, because you know it's like my first time doing it. Yeah, it's a little bit rougher than I thought it was going to be, but I don't know. I am I'm excited to see how it turns out, but I've been feeling anxious over these last couple of weeks, honestly. Yeah, starting the anime convention is rough, honestly speaking. It's kind of rough. Um, like things don't work out exactly as you think it's going to work out. Marketing is harder, but we're doing it because we love the city. We're doing it because we love the city. Like for me personally, I'm not sure if you guys like experience the same thing, but at least for me, I've lived in different places. Lived in Texas, like Houston, the black cities, Atlanta. Spent like 2 years there when I went to college, and like those cities are great and all, but I don't know. There's something special about Detroit. Like it's definitely better than places like San Francisco because like San Francisco got boring. Like it lacks true culture. When I worked there, like after college, it was cool and all, but Detroit has something special to it. Honestly, I don't know. It feels comforting. Like even though I've traveled a lot from like within the U.S., outside the U.S., like in Europe, I always end up coming back here, and I'm like, for some reason, I'm excited. Like I'm excited to be here. When I used to go back home to Virgin Islands after leaving San Francisco, I never wanted to like go back to San Francisco. It wasn't like a strong pull, but with Detroit, I don't know. It's because the people are. I've gotten used to being around the people. I'm not sure if it's because I got used to like driving around and seeing the beautiful scenery. Because like people who don't live in Detroit don't know how great Detroit is. It's like the culture is unique. It has character. It's not like a boring metro city. Like maybe New York and LA have culture, but most other U.S. cities don't have culture. And it's like everyone I speak to who doesn't live here, they think like, "Hey, it's not a dangerous city." I'm like, "Nah, I mean, it might have like dangerous parts, but that's any city." Like I've seen some crazy shit happen in San Francisco, and like Keanu could tell you, he saw like a homeless man, like literally like I'm not even sure if I could use this say this on YouTube, did that deed to another man in San Francisco. Like I'm laughing because it's just so uncomfortable, and it's like, yeah, it's crazy. But it's say like Detroit. So I'm like, I've never had nothing bad happen to me in Detroit. I mean, I Airbnb'd and like, yeah, when I Airbnb, people throw parties, but I don't know. People in Detroit, I've gotten used to like the feeling of community. Like everyone wants the best for each other, honestly, because it's like a small city in a way. Even though low key Detroit is huge as shit, because Metro Detroit is bigger than Norway's. But let me see. One sec, I'm about to die. I'm just goofing around on this. I'm not even like really playing hard, but yeah, I feel like Detroit could definitely be bigger than Atlanta or Houston by far. It has so much to it. And then like we have Detroit artists becoming popular now, like 42 Doug, like T Grizzly. There's a couple others, but I don't know. It's something special. I can't fully explain it, but I feel very calm and happy being here. Hmm. Yeah, I'll say that. Feel calm and happy. And I guess being here, I want to like figure out how to add value to the community, like make it even more special. One thing for me is like, and for a lot of people, is like anime is pretty huge here. I mean, it's pretty huge everywhere in the U.S. honestly at this point. But when I think of like the anime conventions in general, I won't target out like the Detroit anime conventions necessarily just yet. But like anime conventions in general, they feel like okay, you come there to buy shit, anime merch, and I don't know. That seems boring. Like I'm an adult. I could buy anime merch online. I don't need to come here to buy anime merch. So the only reason I've come is for the connections of being around people I genuinely like. I mean, of course, there's weirdos in anime conventions, and I learned that personally when I went to YumaCon. But like, it is like what I care about, like meeting cool people, and then actually like being able to see them again. And like shit, you meet people online, but like I don't know. After COVID, I feel like I value that in-person connection versus just talking to people online. Of course, it's like your friends and stuff, but it's like something about the uniqueness of the anime community. You just want to like, well, we just cosplaying, we joking around, talking this shit, maybe gaming. There's something special about that. Yeah, I know. Like for my sister, she just finished college, and she was telling me how most of her college experience was spent just indoors. Like she doesn't realize it, but she never really got that college experience. She's only a tiny bit younger than me, but like COVID hit her way harder than me because like practically all her college experience was robbed of her because of COVID. So yeah, I value that like that in-person feeling a lot more, and I think a lot of people I've spoken to say the same thing. It's like everyone's so introverted now since COVID. Like we're in this, we going outside now, we ain't interacting the same way. Yeah, I remember someone was telling me like, hey yo, you came to Detroit at the wrong time. Like it was a Detroiter telling me this. He said like, yo, back before COVID, this area was packed. Like the whole downtown just had tons of people. Now I go downtown, it has people and shit, but it's like, based off what he said, it was like, no. It's a massive difference. Like, yeah. I didn't realize it when I was like younger, but like money was like my motivator when I was younger, but it doesn't motivate me as much anymore. Just because I realized that like being around people that's actually like interesting to talk to hang out with, it matters way more than just pure trying to like get money off of whatever I'm doing. Because I've done a lot of stuff in San Francisco and started cool projects. That was just the life of being a software engineer, but it doesn't interest me as much as like, yo, what if we could just build a true community that comes together like weekly, monthly, something. But since we started convention, Joel and Claire have been helping. I got a hats off to them, because without them this would not be possible. But it has definitely been harder than expected. I think the biggest reason it's been harder is because a lot of anime conventions in the past, they relied on Facebook ads to grow. Like you'd pay Facebook $25 and someone would buy a ticket. Now, because Apple, and I'm not sure if you guys remember this, but you remember when Apple was petitioning for everyone to say, hey, close down your privacy and all of that, right? Like, privacy in a sense does sound good, but it actually, most of the time, it does not matter as much as people think. Like, some of the things do need to be private, like my health insurance, like, or my personal health records. But when it comes to things like, hey, what kind of products I actually like seeing cool stuff I like I saw a product off of Shein, and I was like, I don't normally go on Shein, but like they actually picked a shirt, or it was like a sweater actually, that I really like. Actually, I appreciate you saying that, because like sometimes you can't find shit you like. You be trying to style it, go in stores, and you're like, damn, I have nothing I like in this store. Sometimes you see something online, it's like, oh shit, this is nice. I don't know, ads help so many small businesses stay in business, especially during COVID. And Apple tried to petition to kill it, because it was like, oh yeah, we're trying to kill big businesses, but like big businesses are still doing well all now. That's something I learned when I was in San Francisco working with those guys. It's like big companies like Google and all these other big companies, they're still doing fine. They have tons of data on people already. They have nothing to worry about. The people who hurt the most is small businesses. So like right now, Apple petitioned for that, and we literally have hurt so many businesses because they can't figure out how to like sell to people and sell live. So these are like big companies. These are mom and pop shops that are getting hurt. Fun fact: the reason why Apple actually Yeah, the reason why Apple was petitioning for that is due to the fact that they wanted to start doing VR headsets, and they know that the biggest competitor is Oculus, which is owned by Facebook. So like they wanted to hurt Facebook. So they petitioned to kill ads because they know that's how Facebook makes most of their money, and which is how they fund Oculus, the 3D headset. Um, yeah. So like that's why Apple's against it, because it was trying to weaken Facebook in order to get into the VR headset market. It's, and they did, yeah. The Apple did do some damage to Facebook, and Mark Zuckerberg almost shut down Oculus. But the people that Apple hurt the most was definitely small businesses. Of course, Apple CEOs, Apple executives, they don't care. They're they're still getting paid. But we're probably going to see the results many years later when we realize that there's less small businesses popping up in the U.S. Yeah. Oh, okay. These guys. 1 second. Me. Let me actually pay attention for a second. I'll let him get back up. But yeah, that's all I really have to say on that. Right now for the convention, we want a convention that focuses on the community, that isn't about buying stuff. It's actually about like the relationships, not really just about going to like the merch hall and just getting gear, then going to a few X-rated panels, which I'm not really for the X-rated panels. I think it's kind of weird, but to each their own. Yeah, it should be more than that. Anime convention should be more than that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start small, and we have been starting small so far. We're doing this December Christmas bash, December 14th, and then like from that we can like piggyback and start building and start trying to do a bigger convention come like spring/summertime. Yeah. Mm, I guess for the most part, I'm just going to document the journey, share with you guys as we try to like give Detroit even more cool things to do. Hopefully, in the future, we can make this city like one of the big three. Like when you think of like anime, I mean, just a lot of different things, but anime, at least for one, is like, oh yeah, I want to visit that city just for that. Like how people go to Atlanta sometimes just for MomoCon, or people go to LA. I mean, LA, you go to LA for a lot of reasons, honestly, but like you could go to LA for Anime Expo. Yeah, that would be a fine goal to aim for.